Hey, what's up, guys? I want to make this video having to do with something somebody asked me the other day, which is explaining what type of gains I've had now through my PED cycle. Now I've been on testosterone cypionate for about a month and a half, and I just started in the last week adding primobolan to it. And the one thing that I could show is like my physique kind of before and after, but I'm not truly at that after stage yet. So I do have the before, and I'll wait until I'm done this blast cycle to do the after, and then make that true comparison when that happens. But I'm almost less concerned with aesthetic looks and build than I am strength gains. I think that's an important way to measure what type of progress you're making in the gym, correct? And not that I'm necessarily my my focus is on strength training, although it kind of is. Every type of training you want to build strength, right? But not in the same sense that a powerlifter is. I'm not totally powerlifter, although powerlifting is still incorporated in what I do. Kind of a fusion between bodybuilding, powerlifting, and even some high intensity training, such as CrossFit. But to get right to the point, about a month and a half ago, I started like a calibration kind of measurement on what my deadlift would be. Not maxing out, because I don't really want to max out, because that would be like 100%. Like, what's my total max? Because I don't want to injure myself in like the middle of a cycle like this. So what I'm doing is like more like 5 rep range. Like, what's my max at that 5 rep range? That's a safer way, but as well can measure what that would be, correct? And so with deadlift, and so before I started, like over a month and a half ago, I have this on my Instagram channel. I did 315 pounds, and the most I could do with 315, and all I could do was 3 reps with that, okay? Nothing too crazy. I know some of you probably can do way more than me. I'm not like crazy, probably as strong as some people who are watching this are. But without, now a month and a half in, without really focusing on deadlifts, like I do legs, I do back, I do other things, but I haven't really done deadlifts since. I did it at the gym today. I posted the video to this YouTube channel you can check out. I did it 5 times. And I probably could get it the 6th in. I didn't, but seriously, I believe I still have one more. Because still have had one more. So added 2 more reps on 315 pound deadlift. I would say that is reasonably good, right? And based on that progression, now if I'm doing a 4-month cycle and that continues, I should be able to rep that out 10 times, I would think. If just based on that, the data I'm having, in that, if you were to graph it in the trajectory of that curve, I would say in 4 months, 10 times at least with 315. And that would be a good goal. If I could rep 315 10 times, that would be actually, for my own, based on my own history of fitness, that would be very good. I remember a point in time 5-7 years ago where like doing it one time was 315 one time was a good thing. That was like my max at one time. So I'm 39 years old now. I've been training for about 10 years. But to be honest, a lot of that time was I was kind of going through phases where I did train harder times than others, and I wouldn't train for a while, then I would come back. And within the last year, I was pretty consistent. The thing is, though, I was in school for massage therapy, and I would train at least 5 days a week. But I noticed the slope of my progress was kind of shit, to be honest, considering how the volume of my training was kind of fucking shit, to be honest. And I deduced that it had to do with the fact that I'm kind of getting older. That's just the reality of life and the situation. You know, it sucks. So that's one of the reasons why I incorporating PED use now into my life, because I want to still be accelerating in a good direction in my gains, in my fitness in general, right? I still want to be in this stage of my life making accomplishments and reaching my goals. And part of the goals has to do with strength, having to do with functionality, being able to lift what I really feel like I should want. But then kind of secondary is looks. Like obviously if you can lift proper, like say if I can rep 2 plates on a bench press 10 times, I think you'd be looking pretty good, right, if you could do that. So it's kind of my benchmark, so to speak, literally, that I want to do with the top 3. The other one is pull-ups. I want to be able to rep 10 reps, like for multiple sets on a pull-up bar easily. So if I can get those 3 pull-ups, deadlift / squats. Squats is one that I've actually been working on hard for the last few months, which is probably one of the reasons why my deadlift's improved. And then pulls in general, you get those 3 down, you're pretty good. Like if you could only pick 3 exercises to only do, I'd pick those ones, to be honest. But also I'm doing a lot of other accessory movements as well, and isolation movements. So I think just going back to, again, the video where I did 5 reps on a deadlift, it was a lot easier, it was a lot smoother, and I felt like I had that drive. Felt like I was in that, I call it the beast mode, like that you get in when you're just like in the zone and you have that, whatever, the gas in the tank to do those types of lifts. So I think that's very supporting of what I'm doing, and it also shows that whatever gear I'm getting is good, right? And I tested it, so I know it is, but that's kind of reassuring in a sense that that's good. And and I want to continue on this path. The 5 rep range, I believe, is very good because, first of all, it's not too small where you're doing like 80%, 90%, of your max. You're still getting reps in, which means you're getting slight hypertrophic training, but as well, it is also very much a strength training as well. With things like squats, what I've been doing is a 5x5. That's how I start usually. But after a warm-up, I do warm-up sets, slight kind of stretches. I don't like to stretch too much before my lifts because I think that could be kind of detrimental to your lifts, but warm up, and then I get into lower weights, and I don't count those in the 5x5, and then I get to that, I reach that certain point where I'm kind of pyramiding up, and then I start there, and then 5 reps, boom, rack it, add a little bit more weight, 5 reps, until I get to the point where the 5th rep is pretty well difficult, like I can barely do it, and then I know that I've reached my peak in the 5 reps, and then I might kind of taper off after that and do another 5 reps. So that's kind of the 5x5 method I like to do with not just like squats and deadlifts, but bench press as well. And I feel like the 5x5 is one that's kind of true tested. Like a lot of athletes, like people who are in NFL or athletes do that. It's very functional because you get the power, right? I like power lifting in the sense that like you are kind of pushing that barrier of the amount of muscle recruitment that you need to actually do it. Like it's also a nervous system, neuromuscular connection that you have, and I want to be strong for one, right? A lot of bodybuilding, they just focus a lot of them on hypertrophy training, which I do a lot of as well. So it's kind of a fusion between the two of strength training and hypertrophy training, because afterwards then I go to something like leg extensions and I rep those out, and leg curls I rep those out. Now I might do like something like was it the Romanian deadlifts or something like that? Yeah, and rep those out as well. So that's what I like to do. Start with compound, work to isolations, and I might finish with a compound again at the end with high reps. So it'd be interesting to see, okay, month and a half in, 5 reps at 315. I'll wait a month or so, and I'll do that again. And then based on that, you can plot down the curve and see what your progress is, right, over those periods of time, as opposed to just being like, I can measure my biceps or measure whatever my weight and things like that, which I will do as well. But I think more of the appropriate kind of data to get is strength through a certain rep range, like that 5, being able to do 5 reps of a certain weight. That's good, right? If I could then do that with 335 pounds, 5 reps, then I know that I'm making progress in the right direction, right? So I'll leave it there, guys. What are your thoughts on that, on my approach? Kind of taking a scientific approach in and measuring along the way what my gains are. Okay? Thanks for watching, guys. Peace.